What's going on YouTube? EarthP0w3R here, bringing you guys another Duel series. We got Backhoe Rush Aggro versus Agrix Light Dark. And
Don't call it that.
Is CVH.
How's it going, guys? Here for Duel series number 3.
Yes, sir.
So this deck is actually like Light Dark Midrange, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Kevin Winther for the, I guess, inspiration for this build. We changed a couple cards in it, more or less. It's still got the same basis, you know, available drummer, zombie backhoe, discard cards, etc. But just kind of evened out some of the numbers and running some cards that I think he probably should have been running for the meta that we actually saw at Champs.
Mm-hmm. And it's just a cross between the John Johnson Cyberlord Games Spencer Swan deck. And obviously changed it a little bit from all those versions. I'm not actually sure the exact build of anyone.
Spurpin's the Spencer Shifter.
Yeah, that.
I think that was the actual title of the deck that almost everybody put on their deck list sheet.
Mm-hmm. So as usually, we're going to roll for first and then switch off every game. Play best, or not best of 5, but play 5 games total. See how it shapes up. I'll shuffle that Baleful Dorm somewhere back in the deck.
Jesus Christ.
It's so hard.
To shuffle?
Yeah. It's tricky, man.
The true woes of a champion play.
Finally got there.
So, shoutouts to Sweet Mats. So you have the Champs mat, and then the mat drawn by Jesper Estring. Yeah, and orange sleeves on your, I guess that would be your left, will be the zombie backhoe deck, and then the light dark mid-range on Christian's mat on the Seattle Champs mat.
I really hope the color fixed itself.
It's getting there.
3. Alright, so at least we get to go first against the Aggro deck. Barely, with the 4. I'm going to show them the hand if you don't mind, even though it's probably just going to show up orange. Not the greatest hand, but I think, you know, depending on draws, obviously, that's what it comes down to, so just going to hope for some sweet draws.
And we've actually got a really decent setup here, so we'll see what happens.
And I will make the obvious mana decision here, I think, and throw down the Arbiter.
Throw down face down.
I'll draw for 2. .com?
.com.
Question mark.
Underworld. Got it.
Drew nothing really of note, and I'll put down another Shield Blast.
Yeah, the deck is 3 civs, fire, dark, light. So,
the Aggro deck being more civs than the other deck. Is it Ember Adept?
It is. And we will actually opt not to use its effect.
The hand is that juicy.
Yeah, it's real good.
This hand is actually just not getting better at all, as you can see from this. So I think we can safely put this down. Here you go.
Oh, no drop.
Deck with so many plays on turn 2 and 3. Mesmerize would have been great to get rid of a limited number of turn 3s.
Go ahead and run out the zombie backhoe, and the Ember Adept breaks one.
Alright.
Go ahead.
My go, I would put down Keeper of Laws is not great in this matchup. These limited their spells. Some Underworld Stalker.
Let me?
Yep. Talk about your hand, man. That's why people watch
Yeah,
these.
we've got options here. So, I could definitely just run out these 2 after I play mana. The only problem is that I want to hold on to this. So, and I can't even, like, guarantee that I'll break all 4. So, we'll see. I think we just do it this way. 2. For the Ember Adept.
It's all 3.
Discard Krakus. We'll power up the backhoe and give a double breaker and then draw 1. And that worked out really well because we'll just draw Baleful Dorm now. So zombie at 6,000 and double breaker will break 2.
Yep.
And the Ember that will break one.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be your play. And because I'm Underworld Stalker, the Krakus does go to the bottom.
Yeah, so we know what the cards do now. So on the plus side, we have a play now. On the negative side, we're probably still going to lose. Put Prime
I'll
down,
lay down to that.
summon the Stingwing, kill the backhoe, and just pass because that's all the action in our hand. The rest of it looks like this.
We'll draw one.
You can see these generally come in clumps.
Summon, evolve into Conflag.
Yeah, it's probably game unless we have the Arbiter.
We'll unleash, Ember that goes to the bottom.
Attacking my shield, obviously.
Breaking shield.
Not Arbiter.
Yeah, and Baleful Sling.
Game 1 went about as much as it will go when you don't draw a play till turn 4 against the Necro deck.
True. So, and we did have really good setup with Zombie Backhoe and all that, so. Just kind of worked out. No light, though.
No light at all.
See light at all.
It's like 10 cards, right?
Yeah. It's like 11, I think. We'll go over deck text at the end of this.
You don't see your third color, I don't see my 2-drops.
Yeah.
About the same number.
Solid. So I get to go first now.
Woo! I get to draw an extra card, which apparently we need more than I thought.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you edit out the time between games or not.
I really don't.
Okay.
Quick couple of shovels. And a cut. And we are on the play.
I'll talk about my hand when I actually draw a card.
Yep. So, interesting opening. We'll see if we can draw into some sort of progression here. But for the time being, Arbiter is our mana choice. Go.
And with the card, I'm actually liking the curve this game a lot more than last game. Of course, I could have drawn pretty much anything and liked it more than last game. Honestly, I think...
Also Game of Thrones in the background, that's what all the bass is.
Yes.
The floor shaking and the lights dimming.
My boyfriend and my mom are bonding downstairs while we record content for you guys. I will throw down Sasha and pass.
Well, that's one out of the way. Drawing into cards that aren't super useful in this matchup. So it will be me. Good.
I think I can safely put down Mesmerize and summon Stingwing. Stingwing seems pretty good to have on board.
Yeah.
Your turn. Chump blocking double breakers is something that is necessary.
Yep.
What is the power boost you get from Backhoe?
+3.
Okay.
So, drawing into cards that I would like to put in mana, but for the time being we'll have to wait on that. I think this is our option, and then we just run this out because it might just get us there.
Okay. Krakus. Krakus is a spicy number for sure. I think given that he's going up to 4, what I have to do... Well, I could go either one of these, to be honest. These two. I just kind of want to do this. But, yeah, I think that's probably safer than the other play. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Slayers are pretty hard to answer, so target sugar. Solid. Your turn.
Draw. We got our dark mana now, so I think that's good. Could set us up for some interesting stuff in a couple of turns from now. But I think this goes down and we run this out because it's really good in this matchup. So I'm gonna roll down, unlock all of our civs, and tap 4 for the Keeper of Laws. Solid.
Good. You have 2 left in hand. I don't feel bad putting Mesmerize down. With the laws on board, I'll summon Underworld Stalker. Your turn. That's a solid card.
Yep. Drew into this guy, so now we're just going to try to put as much pressure on board as possible. Some of the Ember Depth, we will discard. The back code goes to the bottom. And draw. And that'll be your pull. Draw a card.
Haggis is on board, so that's something to consider. Unless it happens to just evolve compulsively. Seems doubtful. Either one of these would be a safe mana decision. I'll throw down Arbiter and summon my own Keeper of Laws. Here you go. Kind of mitigates the clap if that was going to happen.
Yep, summon a Stalk of our own and pass turn.
Alrighty. I think in the way of wanting to actually... Yeah, Stalker's weird.
Yeah, a lot of triggers going on board right now.
Let's go ahead and put Kraken down and summon Stingwing. Here you go.
We'll draw. Seems a turn too late on this guy, but we will summon Fumes. Just to run him out. And... we'll pass. Double Stingwing is minutely annoying, but I think we'll be fine.
So summons Engorger tapped. Everything comes in tapped. Your turn.
Summon another walls.
Alright. Mesmerize is hard, mana for a reason.
Yep.
Which is pretty awkward. Having 3 blockers on board is nice. Okay, it's nice to double break, at least something's getting blocked. With that in mind, I think having a multi-7 mana is more important than having another one on board. Here we go.
Zero. So we've got interesting plays. I could potentially set up stuff for next turn, but that'll give him options as well. This does almost nothing for me right now. Just kind of a pain in the neck with 3 blockers on board.
And my another World Stalker.
Yep. So I think... because I get run out by Trox if he summons Trox next turn. I think he has to top it, but...
Other things that would be great top decks are Serpents.
yeah.
And Serpents. And Sasha,
I could
obviously.
sort of rely on him maybe topping a spell at some point, but I don't think he'd play it if he did.
Seems iffy. I mean, what's left to Mesmerize? Terror Pits.
All of his blockers die when they block though, which is nice. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and evolve into Restless. Could double, he'll just get rid of Den. We'll probably let the double go through just because he wants cards in his hand. And then I use Conflag to Underworld, or Targusher, and then another card to Underworld as well, which is a pain in the neck. So I think we just pass turn.
Interesting
Keep
stuff.
playing the Stalwart.
I think we have to rely on killing him on the crackback, and we're already at 7, so there's no reason not to summon another Underworld Stalker. And it's on you.
Draw. Mana. Got 4 for Fumes.
Sweet.
Good.
Fumes ain't hitting me. Drawing a card. So the Shield Blasts you run are just Arbiter, Scrap Heap, and I think Terror Pit, maybe.
Augur.
Augur, yeah. Augur's not bad. Definitely evolve on Den Gorger.
Yep.
for the possibility of going for game, and because Dungorger's just worse than Stinglings. And if I evolve on one of these, I can't go for game. So the possibility is there to go for game, and then I have to rely on him killing both my blockers, and if I have one blast, then it's still fine, because I can get rid of his Hexproof guys with the trucks. So I can taunt laws and double breaking. Also, these are at the bottom. And so is this. No blast, no blast. Alright, so target goes in first. Yep. Underworld. Yep. Last Underworld, and I think Laws will take it. Sweet.
Got that.
Evo Bomb finally showed its face.
Yeah. I knew Trox was a blowout, I just had to pray it wasn't going to come in 2 turns.
It was a pretty awkward Star War, what with all the Slayers and Underworld Stalkers and the conflagration sitting there.
Yeah. I'm surprised you did not to mesmerize on turn 3.
Yeah, I actually forgot Laws was a card, I guess because Kevin Winther didn't run it. I was like, if he conflagrations me, then that's fine, I can just slay it and I'll take the 2.
Yeah, mesmerize would have stung like a bee.
Because I had them both in my hand, which is why I put the first one down. Because I knew playing both against Aggro was pretty greedy. I want to send a guy at one point or another. And now we know. But we're on the play.
Yep. Alrighty.
So not the juiciest hand, but I think it's fine. As long as we see something else that comes out relatively quickly. Well, Sparkle's fine to go down. Here you go.
Draw one.
First time we've seen Sparkle actually. And Blitzmech, I think.
Yep.
Aggrex costs $1 million. It's your turn.
Baleful will go down, and we'll summon Melmax. Good.
The Terrapit we just draw can go down, and I will play Mesmerize.
Practice, Relentless Fumes, and Backhoe. Very good hand.
So the good curves are that and a that, where you can just like crack
That and a that. Which one don't you want to get hit by?
Well, Fumes is not the best card in the hand, so I'm not going to hit that.
Yeah, I think your choices are definitely these two. You could just want to get rid of Krakus, though. I really don't know what your hand looks like.
Krakus does sting like a bee. So next turn you obviously do something Backhoe. It's probably at the expense of that or whatever you draw. Or maybe even that. I don't know. But I'll probably get rid of Krakus. Yeah, so Backhoe, Fumes, Conflagration.
One tap and go. Baleful goes down, we'll summon the Backhoe, and we will break one.
Still has Fumes and Conflagration. The Terrapit down, and we'll see what we hit. Either way, we're hitting a pretty good card. Even odd. Even. Sweet. So I'm getting Fumed. And 3 of my shields probably gone. If he draws a non-multi-civ. Yeah. Your turn. There are 9 of them, so there's a possibility.
It's interesting. You're how many now?
3.
So now we have choices. This is really interesting. Spire did Sting. I would rather have one of these 3, or 2, or all of these 3 in my hand to have an option for next turn. But I think we just run this out because it's bigger, and he's got 3 cards in his hand regardless, and I'm about to give him some more anyways. So
Fumes is going down.
do that, I think. Yep. Fumes go down.
And I'd even thought about what I would discard.
Keeper of Walls.
Another rather annoying card.
I'll swing it back to the first.
Okay.
And now Wax will swing.
Sweet.
It's your choice. Go.
So we obviously need to stop his creatures, otherwise the Hexproof guy is going to kill us. is effectively dead now for more than one reason. Spark Puppet's just too small to deal with Metal Max. And I'll summon Gorger. Your turn.
So now I just need to draw something to get rid of the Gorger. Draw. Another Waltz is fresh.
That is fine.
Metal Max will swing.
Yeah, I mean, if I let it, if I stop it, it just stops breaking. But I get to tap that, which is nice.
And I think we stop there. Go.
Unfortunately, my guys are either guarded or just too small. So my best play. Yeah. Unfortunate plays.
It's a good thing you got rid of Crackers. If this was Crackers, I never gonna assume that things would be way too tough.
They're still too tough because I have nothing against top 2 walls. Here you go.
Yep. So I think that's just the game, even if you have Arbiter, and I just top the Blinder Beetle.
I was one man over in Serpents, so I could just run my guys and do your things.
Yep.
And get free shields. We didn't get there.
Another reason why Crackers is really good, just kind of stops Serpents from doing serpenty things.
Yeah. Another reason we got rid of it. Because I knew Serpents had to be like the top of the curve for me to win. No turn 2 play hurt. And Spark was just not as big as it needs to be. Against big cards like Metal Max. And apparently Backhoe. But we're on the draw again, and we do better against Aggro on the draw. Apparently.
Draw your blockers.
Oh yeah. Hand was like 2 Spark Puppets and Mesmerize. I was like, damn, I kinda wish I was in the draw. But it would have sucked if I didn't have a turn to play. I just would have lost really fast.
Alright. We'll be on the play again in game 4. So I gotta say, Kevin's deck is really fun. This is the first time I piloted it, outside of just like looking at it, you know, never actually picked it up and played it before tonight. The deck is fun. Zombie back is kind of obnoxious. Alright, so, options again, looks similar to our game 2 hand, but I think we've got better on-curve cards this time around, so we'll see what happens. Arbiter will open the game for us again though.
Better than the last hand for sure. It's because of that. And we have some neat tricks we can do in a couple turns as well. I think the least possible playable card in this hand is definitely Arbiter. There you go. Well, not a surprise.
Yeah, what's your map will go down, and it's a pass to you. No turn 2 play here.
Do not hate that he doesn't have a turn 2 play.
Yeah, that is the one thing I don't like about this deck necessarily, is that there's only 9 cards that are 2 or under. So the odds of you not seeing one can be high sometimes. And Baleful Drummer is not the greatest turn 2 play if you don't have the setup or the progression for it.
The mana decision is pretty tight between the 2 cards I'm considering, but I will put down the Taskmaster and summon a Stingray.
Fresh.
Your turn.
I will... I think I'll mirror the play from game 2. Summon the Krakus, good.
Not bad, thank God we already have Stingray out. It actually just savagely ripped the Mesmerize.
Nice. That hurts.
So Backhoe Fumes could happen in the future. Conflagration is the most pressing threat though, so I have to get rid of it. There you go.
Yeah, how many?
3.
I'll draw. I think for the time being, we'll just set up.
Good. So I have 2 in hand. One of them's a Fumes, one of them's something else. The World Star can go down, I'll spark with it. Even odd. It's a 4.
It's good on you.
Your turn. Draw. Is the other card better than a Fumes?
Summon Baleful Drummer. Good.
Sweet. And we'll draw, put down Engorger because it'll come in tapped and that sucks, and summon target. Sure, your turn.
Draw. Just grab you, go down, and we'll tap 4 for the Underworld Stalker. Ah, the Stingwing's big.
Stingwing is not small.
I think we'll pass again. About to get ourselves into another awkward stall war. You could just be holding fatties at this point then.
I think I can safely put down this part of it.
No cards in hand, seems safe enough. Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, tap the backhoe, kill it and tap Krakus, and kill Krakus. Woo! Here we go.
Yeah, it's just your cards.
Yeah, here's not go. That would make Underworld Stalker pretty bad, because then it would go to the bottom.
Draw. Wish this was Hearthstone. Max, and we'll run.
I don't actually know if mine goes to the bottom or not.
With Slayer, I banish myself first, I hit the graveyard, and then Slayer kills your card, so you do go to the graveyard. You do go to the graveyard.
Oh, graveyard, okay.
So, but since Slayer, if they were bumping, then they would,
Yeah,
then
sure.
I would send yours to the bottom. Good.
He still has kind of a large field. I'll just summon Engorger. Here we go.
Draw. Tap 4 and summon Underworld.
The pluses. Yeah, it's actually pretty savage. And I draw into mine. There you go. Now his is slightly worse.
We'll go ahead and just throw Arbiter down and summon Krakus.
Sure.
Go.
Drawing into this. I'll just hold it. Here we go.
Summon another Krakus. Card's coming upside down.
Is that technically me untapped? I'm hoping it does. Not a pressing need for mana, so I'll just summon Keeper of Laws. Your turn. Laws can revenge kill something.
We may just be able to go for game.
Oh, good lord.
We'll tap 4 for Blitzer Mech.
At least we don't have to deal with hexproof guys right now.
We'll tap it and break.
Yep.
I think Underworld breaks. Krakus breaks.
Aha.
Terrapin's pretty good.
So double Krakus, it's fine, I guess. Both those are pretty much the same card. I guess I'll just get rid of
Let's get rid of a big one. Yeah, that's fair. Another max will break. And Krakus breaks last.
That helps things.
Double Terrapin. Solid.
Actually,
right,
that was, yeah.
hit the bottom.
I have to make sure I do this correctly. Pulling out my next turn. I will Terrapin Underworld Stalker goes to the bottom. That's pretty sweet. Underworld Stalker is finally gone.
Got it.
We didn't really need that last one, but it's pretty appreciated. And with 7 we can Trux. This time we can do it on one of our attackers.
Yep.
Even though it doesn't matter a whole lot, because his past attacker I believe is just that. Kill these 3, down to the bottom, and then that goes to the bottom, and then that's the end of my turn.
Alright, let's draw Blitzer Mech.
Don't do that.
Not quite.
Okay.
So now the pressures are real.
Now I can just summon 2 more blockers, and they don't go untapped. And it's your turn.
Go.
Now I can summon Serpents.
Spurpins.
Your turn.
So we can clap that.
You get to draw.
And
I get a shield.
Oh, Christ.
You don't want to do that?
That doesn't quite work out. Didn't quite hit the mock.
Yeah, that's probably not good. I didn't look at the card editor.
It's fine. Just something. Conflict.
Yeah.
And unleash and attempt to swing for him.
So the kills 2 is gonna be blocked by that, and then I get a shield.
You get 2 shields and you lose 2 blockers.
With the same card, so seems right.
Yeah, good.
They told me Andromeda was dead. Yeah, 1 in hand?
Yeah, I lose this game.
Memorize it, and kill that, and doubling is fine. That's cute. Breaking is fine.
Flame
I have no idea what that does.
discard
to draw.
Kill your serpents.
Oh no! I'll draw that. And it's your... you have 2 shields left?
Yep.
Here you go. The last shield left is really things that don't target laws. Okay.
I'm gonna hey, there was an arbiter there though.
It's not gonna help.
You weren't gonna swing that keeper laws first, were you?
No, no.
Alright. Heading to game 5, 2 and 2.
Oh yes, another close duel series. Have they all been this close, I think?
I think every single one of them went 3 and 2 so far.
I'm okay with that. Oh, and I'm 2-0 in the duel series, so this is your chance for redemption.
I'm pretty... Oh, are you?
Yeah, I took it with the Bant versus Bugs.
Did you?
I thought I was unfavorable, but got there in the end.
I could have sworn that I won one of them.
That was only 2. I mean, you also thought we recorded 3 by now.
No, I thought I won. I thought we were both 1 and 1.
Ah, it was the first one was Haven versus Dragons. It was like a million years ago, right?
Gotcha. I didn't win that.
No, I was running Haven.
You sure?
I was running Haven, man. It was close.
Alright. Take your word for it. I'm gonna go back and look though.
Alright.
Sound really pompous if you're...
Yeah.
The people are like, no, he lost. Tooting your own horn over here.
People know.
No idea.
See, you could have just let it sit there. Now you're gonna sound pompous if you're wrong.
I don't
now
know
we
if
have
I'm
a lot
wrong.
on the line.
I don't know if I'm wrong or right. I have no idea.
Oh, what am I on? I'm on the play again?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, whatever. I actually like being on the play.
Good
I kind
for
of
me.
messed it up one of the times. With not mesmerizing before.
You like being on the play and you like being on the draw. You said that about both.
Yeah, I mean...
I actually like being
people assume I like being on the play, but... Maybe I just hate the way I draw when I'm on the play. So you guys are looking at... It's just a handful of cards. Here you go.
Draw.
There's really not much else to say. Hopefully we get better cards that we can actually play.
Yeah, we opened up with some decent options here. However, I think this is going to have to go down first. Good.
Not exciting.
I don't know if I showed them my hand, actually. I was just like way up here.
Okay.
But yeah, we do have options.
I think the worst card in my hand is Keeper of Laws. Here we go. That's not a terrible card, but it's just not the best in this matchup.
Arbiter will go down, and we will tattoo for the middle max. Go.
Oh my god.
I like having turn 2 plays.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I either draw really good or really bad, I've noticed.
Gotta have the 3 drop. Here is the hand.
Well, if I summon my turn 3 blocker, I just get clapped, so I think I hold it. Anyway.
Fair.
Go.
Wow. No play.
Nope. This deck looks like a Hearthstone deck. There's so many 4s.
Tap 3 for our Krakus, and we'll break one.
Alright.
Go.
A lot of bad things could happen soon. I think I have to put Demigorger down and summon the world. Here we go.
Underworld is not bad. I think we will throw our clamp down. Summon our own Stalker.
There's 2 left.
Yeah. We'll break one with Krakus. That's correct.
Okay.
Metal Max.
Krakus is definitely the better card.
Go ahead.
I too, at times, wish this was Hearthstone. Killing Krakus before you summon a blocker army is generally good. I assume you don't run Prime, but even if you don't, or even if you do, Krakus is still the one that needs to die. That requires me putting down Demigorger. I'm summoning some blockers tapped. Cute. Wait, actually, Middle max is huge. He is big. These are the blockers.
Double Stingwing.
Here you go. He'll get back to it, guys. Yeah, he'll get back to the last card. I'll put someone else on the bottom, and then my Kragus will be the game ender.
Alright, so
My field is looking pretty awkward.
I think we just
go for game.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously.
how many in hand?
4.
Doesn't matter.
If I live this turn, we have a good shot. But I require living this
Some
turn.
flag. We will unleash.
What is a graveyard?
See what you got.
I lead Arbiter, Dengorger, Terrapit.
Swing for you in the Thunderworld.
Good games.
Good game, sir.
There was a Terrapit. Okay.
Had the Fumes if I wanted to play safe, but there was literally no reason to because I couldn't have comp flag.
Fumes
next
gonna be
turn,
sucks.
so,
Yeah.
You just go for a game with Rush. That's how it goes, guys.
Yep.
So,
Stay tuned. We're going to talk about our deck lists.
yeah, we'll be right back, guys. Peach. Yeah, we're back. Basically going to talk about the first deck, the Light Dark Fire, and then talk about CVH's deck that he ran. A very solid list. Like I said, we basically took Kevin Winther's deck from the top 8 at Champs and curved it out a little bit better. He was running 43 cards, which I don't agree with in a Rush deck or just any aggro deck in general.
Or any deck in general. CVH guys, how's it going?
For the most part. But we took out a lot of the cards that I sort of found unnecessary. Cards like Hover Talon, Major Owl, which it's a good card, but it's also cost 5 and it's also a multi-civ when you're already running Metal Max or Falcora and Backhoe. He was running other cards too. I think he was running Terrapit, which I wasn't the biggest fan of, as well as Blaze Helix, like spells that you were just never really going to get to. Like I assume he was just expecting a ton of aggro and tempo, which there was a lot of, but you know, as far as I think aggro is concerned, you just kind of want to get in there and just continuously punch. You don't want a lot of cards to get in the way like Terrapit, especially when he's running cards like Arbiter, Clap, and Augur. Cards that you just don't want to see in your opening hand very often. So we cut out all of that, and then we put in, he wasn't running Keeper of Laws, which
Seems like a mistake.
yeah, you disagreed with. With there being a heavy presence of control, and even the blocker decks too. I think Kevin lost in top 8 to Robert Esperoff, who was running that big control-y blocker deck. Like, this card just kind of sits there and gets in their way. Like, it keeps them from doing...
Yeah, I just think Keeper of Laws and Middle Max are the 2 reasons you really actually want to play light.
Yeah.
So I saw he was running light. I just assumed they were both in the deck list, and neither of them were.
Yeah, so, I mean, and you saw the amount of work that these 2 cards put in against the Aggregates deck just now. So, really good stuff. Just control beaters in general. And Metal Max just being prime bait for Restless Conflag after your turn 3 play. But like I said, taking a lot of what Kevin was doing with the Baleful Drummer, the Zombie Backhoe, the Fumes. We didn't get to see that progression. With CVH running Mesmerize, he kind of just like stopped it every time I was going to try to do it. And then when I did set up the Zombie Backhoe, there was
Double broke game 1, right?
Yeah.
Game 1 was a double break.
Yeah, game 1 it did work out, but outside of that I didn't really get to live the dream of the Baleful into the Zombie into the Fumes to break all 5 and get in there. But for the most part, it's good. You'll notice Scrap Heap Hunter and a lot of aggro decks over War Chief Keo. That card just costs 1,000,000 mana, and Scrap Heap can not only be summoned from the hand, it still provides a Shield Blast creature, which is why we're running Keo in the first place. But Scrap Heap Hunter is, you can play it from the hand and evolve it into Conflag, and it still provides that creature out of shields, which is nice.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
Not really. It's pretty solid. Matchup was, I don't know, it seems like a pretty even matchup. You had cards like Laws, which obviously, if you didn't have Laws, I'd say it's heavily favored into the deck with Mesmerize.
Yes.
But besides that, the only really weakness to the deck, especially in the matchup, was just like the general lack of turn 3 plays, because this is basically dead, doesn't really kill anything in the deck.
Yeah.
This is really good though, and Backhoe's good, so like either one of those is fine. And if I did someone to turn 2 play, then Clap's not a bad card.
Yeah, you'll notice the progressions here aren't powerful. Like, summoning Baleful on turn 2 isn't always the best thing, because I'm not necessarily going to want to attack with them on turn 3 a lot of the time, just because it discards a card out of my hand.
Yeah, which is in Backhoe, obviously.
Same thing with like Ember Adept. Like, sure, it's great, but you know, discarding the card first is always a pain, especially if you're like setting stuff up in hand. Sure, it's awesome if you've got cards that are useless in your hand a lot of the time, like Arbiter, Clap, or Augur.
But just excess dual civs.
Right. For the most part, though, he's not optimal. You do want to see Metal Max. And then outside of that, you've only got 9 2-drops into potentially only 6, because going into Blind Reveal is not always the greatest card.
Without this card in the deck, the progressions turn into, hopefully you have Curve Ember Adept into Krakus or Baleful Drummer into Backhoe.
Yeah.
If not, then everything is either super weak or super unnecessary.
Right. The progression just falls apart.
You just need a solid turn 2 play that actually has a body and can also provide pressure early game.
Right, but you have a ton of turn 4 options. Like,
yeah.
All of these are amazing. Like, turn 4 is just the optimal turn. That's where you just start throwing hands. I don't know. I think changes I would make to this potentially would probably be going back down to 2 Fumes. Kevin only ran 2, and I think that's appropriate now after testing the deck. Fumes isn't great in a rush deck because you're giving them so many cards by attacking their shields anyways. Fumes is really only there to get the backhoe engine going off, and I'd rather drop Fumes for more 2-drop options or better turn 3 options when you don't have Krakus or backhoe. And then Thundering Clap I think can go down to 2 as well. Everything else in this deck sort of deals with blockers like Krakus and Blitzer Mech. They sort of get you through, and half the time Thundering Clap is your whole turn.
Thundering Clap on a body.
Yeah, and then Restless Conflict as well, and then Thundering Clap is just, it wastes literally your whole turn 3, or whatever turn you're on generally wastes that whole turn, because I don't have any 1-drops to kind of combo on turn 4 with, so for the most part it's not the greatest thing, but I think 2 is still right just because it'll get you there in the late game. But I think those would be the changes. Probably drop a Fumes for another 2 or 3 drop, and then drop a Clap for just something else in general. Probably another creature as well, just to curve out for 2.
Yep.
And yeah, Underworld Stalker, final thought is that card's amazing.
Yeah.
Always a creature. If you summon them and they don't have opposing Underworld Stalkers, you've always got a turn play or a creature play, no matter what you draw, which is always nice.
The Underworld Stalker Wars are awkward.
Yeah, very awkward. So we're going to fade into the Agrix deck and talk about that one a little bit. And we're back with CVH's. I keep calling it Agrix, but
I keep getting
it's actually light, dark, mid-range.
Yeah, it's like a mid-range control deck. Definitely functions as controller in this matchup because I was up against aggro, obviously. I don't know, the matchup, it seems favorable to this deck, but Laws is definitely a powerhouse that wasn't in the original list. Are you going to get that on camera real quick? Carl's wearing my trophy, guys. The thing. Alright, pretty solid stuff. So the deck has some solid options early game. Unfortunately, game 5 I drew anything. I drew just half of
games, the map. I mean, games 2, or games 1, you lost the first game, right?
Yeah, I lost 1, 3, and 5.
Game 1, 3, and 5, yeah, when you were on the play, like, you just didn't have a play on until turn 3.
Yeah.
So.
It's pretty awkward to win a lot of games on the draw against aggro, but you know, whatever happens, happens.
Right.
It has solid answers to the deck, though, in the form of the Enforcer package, obviously. The discard, you don't really... Expire is kind of late against aggro most of the time, but Mesmerize is still the clutch card, obviously.
I think Targrusher itself, I think that's the card that put a lot of pressure on board for me. That's what made like play super awkward. I just couldn't attack because you would just wipe 2 dudes.
Yep. Laws is just Laws for the mirror match, obviously. Not insane against aggro or anything. There's an argument for going down to 2 if you're not seeing the control deck, but Laws is too good, and it's the only draw in the deck.
It wound up being hexproof when you were going for game. Like, Arbiter is still a very real card, even against aggro, and Laws just kind of saves you from that misery.
And this deck runs 2 Sashas as in addition to like the 3 shocks for an Evo, so like an additional light card, not the worst. Den Gorger is just like a worse Stingwing that pops out of shields randomly, which is pretty sweet. Underworld Stalker is Underworld Stalker, again a card that could be 3 of. It wasn't super exciting in this matchup, except
it did put in a lot
it put in
the
work
games
just
that you
sitting
won
there with his Underworld Stalkers, it's good.
Yeah, and then I think it was game 2 where you had Targrusher and Underworld on board for the longest time, and I just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, you also get to kill like actual threats in decks that run things that are bigger than Conflagration. Like against Conflagration, I still have a... This card never actually saw play, but it is there for the aggro matchup specifically because you evolve on something like maybe Spire Pivoter, and then you just get back your blockers that have died earlier.
Or maybe not so much aggro either, but like tempo cards that are going to like be... or decks that are going to be putting pressure on board a little more than aggro necessarily. Like that won't run you out before turn 4, but that will have pressure on turn 5. And then if you have like the Den Gorger or the Underworld that they think they're safe from, that they, you know, you might just kill one thing with Underworld, you just drop Taskmaster, get something back, and kill something anyways, just outright, which is nice. Cards, I was going to say cards that didn't get to see a lot of play though, like Regent Sasha and Agrix, the card that I keep calling for the namesake of the deck, just because Spencer and Hebert and all them ran 2 of these guys and it was their main win condition at champs. But
I mean, Trox is definitely the main win condition of the deck. It's the insane card that almost always 2 for 1s.
Yeah.
And Sasha's just there, in addition to Trox, is like a turn 7 way to stabilize against aggressive decks, because you probably have cards in hand, and those cards are probably creatures because there's only 6 spells. And it's also gigantic, and we'll get there in the rematch as well.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the blowouts on 2 and 4 when Trox comes down and just either kills 2 Krakus or kills 2 Lols. And then all of a sudden, everything I've been trying to set up is all for naught because there's no way I can go for a game, and he's going for games, so...
Yep. And we just have additional Shield Blasts, and of course the tech package of 2 Serpents, which are, I guess, the answer to not losing as soon as you're out of shields, because that's an easy thing to happen. So you can just crash your guys and other guys, and you do have some Slayers. You could run more Slayers, but...
Or you just set up blocker walls that are impossible to get through, and then when they do start killing them, you just start getting shields.
Yeah,
so
all of a sudden, Stingwing isn't as bad as it was.
Yeah, the pluses are just too great.
Unless they have Underworld Stalker out.
Yeah. Very solid deck. I do like this a lot. I think it's, like, obviously the weakest matchup is probably Rush.
You think so? I think it's pretty favorable. I think the weakest matchup is definitely Control. It couldn't beat the Control decks that we saw.
I don't know, I just feel like Trox is a blowout for certain control cards. Like, even if they're ramping up the Haven, you drop Trox, and it's just all of a sudden they're so behind.
I mean, I'm assuming the Control decks also run, like, good turn 7 plays.
Right.
But, you know, like, a mass amount of draw against this deck will eventually just put it too far behind if they didn't have Mesmerize and Laws.
Yeah. But, I mean, you've got the discard to play that game with them, and yeah, it obviously helps. That's the reason you do run those cards, is for that matchup, so.
Yeah.
But, good stuff overall. I like the deck. I just wish it could have done better at Champs. You know, we were hyping it up quite a bit, and a lot of our
horses in the race running it.
Yeah, Spencer and Dave wound up running a version of this and doing not so great, and then CLG.
Shout out to John Johnson, almost getting there and losing 3 consecutive winning matches.
So sorry for John.
Yeah,
such a shame.
Day 2 was a blowout.
Yeah, but you know. Cool stuff. I think we'll see this deck definitely put a lot of work in the coming weeks as KMCs start next week, actually, after July 4th weekend. So stay on the lookout. I'm sure we'll see a lot of these at the top tables, and may or may not see any of them take it. So
that's about it.
Good stuff. Yeah, I think that's it from us. So check out the social links below, the Facebook, Twitter, all that fun stuff. Leave a like if you enjoyed.
And your thumb's so big. Okay, I'm not going to even try that.
Oh, I'm going to turn the light on.
Oh boy!
Look at that. You feel the power. So, leave a like if you enjoyed, social links, all that fun stuff. Definitely go check out this guy's channel, CVH, for...
Right here. Stuff. I have stuff.
Yeah, he said he was going to start doing stuff after channel, so I don't think he's uploaded a video yet. But
I've uploaded the update video that said I was going to upload more stuff.
Maybe you guys can go over to his channel and harass him for it all.
Do that.
And yeah, stay tuned for more of these Duel series. We'll try to get another one next week. And then once KMC seasons start and we start seeing what decks start taking top spots, we will start doing Duel series for those as well.
We'll have a blowout eventually.
Yep, I think our first KMC is going to be KMC New Holland in Pennsylvania, Mr. Nice Guy Games.
Seems legit.
So that'll be in about a month from now. So stay on the lookout for video blogs from that, as well as hopefully some video coverage. Last time CVH and I were there, we both top 2'd.
Yeah, so, first season 1.
Season 1, yep.
Those were the days.
Yep, got my flight and you got your invite.
And half of his flight.
Yes, and half of my flight. So
it was nice.
It worked out quite well, so we'll be going there again. And yeah, stay on the lookout for...
And a cookie cake. We got a cookie cake. Can't forget that.
We did have a cookie cake. Oh, my diabetes.
Oh, man.
So.
Oh, my ards.
Alright, guys. We'll see you next time.
Peach.
Peach.